on a technicality, not being as long as anything, but even just on a technicality, what are your immediate thoughts on that?
Ah man, that's a tough one right there. What do I think about Cosby being released? Well, he did some time, man. The man come home, I don't know, It's all the legal system, that's how it goes. They've been letting a lot of people out of things that you thought they wouldn't come home for. Because of COVID, so I don't know if that's related to it, but...
No, it's a technicality, but people like Felicia Rashad, his on-screen wife, were celebrating it. And so there are people on Twitter who are celebrating it. Do you think this is something to celebrate in general?
I think it's something that he should celebrate.
Right. Right.
Good answer. Are you going to go into politics? I was really
I'm saying, like, if I'm putting myself in everybody's shoes, then
I appreciate that.
He should be celebrated.
She's taken some heat because she was saying it was like a miscarriage of justice, but now she's kind of walking it back, saying we should still support victims who want to come forward and things like that. Do you feel like people are being a little too hard on her about it, or do you think that's...
I think that's one of those politically correct gray areas that, where do you stand? Where do you feel? So I think that if the judicial system released him, he's free to go. That's how it goes.
What about him getting back into like performing and things like that? Do you think that he should, or is that something that he should maybe stay away from for the time being?
I would go for it personally.
Okay, you would go see him?
And failure or, no, if I was him, I would go for it.
Okay, got it.
Failure or success, go for it. That's what you do. Like, go for it, man.
Absolutely. Would you go see him if he did? If he decided to maybe go do one last tour?
I was not a super Cosby comedy fan because of his moral stance on things that people like me do.
Right.
And he's like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. So, I like the jokes, I like the clean stuff. I like TV shows when I was a kid, even before the Cosby Show, the old shows, I'm older.
Fat Albert.
No, even before that.
Oh, what was
like
that?
when he was the coach, you know what I'm saying? It's called Cosby. I go all the way back with him. So
Okay.
I've heard the albums, I've heard the stand-up routines and all that stuff, and I just think that funny, it's really funny.
Yeah.
And even when he was like older in age and still telling jokes, it was still funny. So I think he might even come out with humor that is appropriate to his experience. I think he's that smart. So, whether we accept it or not, that's on us, the public. But I think that I do.
Fair enough. Okay.
Why not?
I'm really impressed with your maturity in those statements.
No, but I'm saying, you put yourself in.
I'm giving you a compliment for saying
Thank you. But you're not performing the Clippers game tonight. Remember that?
Oh, you are? Okay.
All
right.
Going on, looking amazing today. What are we doing today?
Thank you. Just came here just to have dinner.
Okay.
Go and read a little bit.
Did you hear about the news about Bill Cosby really getting released out of prison the other day?
Yeah, I just read it this morning.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, from my own perspective, I am a very, let's say, forgiving type.
Okay.
So I think he's had enough.
Okay.
And I'm glad. I think that, I know it's a very complicated question, but honestly speaking, I've had some experiences too in my past. What I can say from my experience, well, I forgave those people, and I think that it was a long time ago, and we lived in a time when nobody explained to some men that what they were doing was wrong. And so, as long as people understand their mistakes, as long as they grow, let's say, as people, I think I don't know, to me it's complicated because I don't know the details, but I'm just glad. I think that the public shame and some prison time is more than enough for not a young person,
Right. So another copy on Wicked, looking amazing today.
That's what's up, man. Chilling.
Hey, so I have to ask, Bill Cosby got released from prison the other day. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I saw that, man. I looked at that whole situation like it's 50-50. I'm glad that he's home, especially if he's innocent. But if he's not innocent, then it is kind of crazy. I don't really understand situations like this too much, as far as when it comes to women. If you ever see a dude out there that's getting too close to you or whatever like that touching you, say something. Don't wait until later on. And at the same time, just because they let him go, that don't mean he's innocent. He did go through a lot with several women out there a lot of allegations on him. And the funny thing about it, when he got out of jail and he was walking, he was dancing. What kind of thing is that? Like, you sitting there walking and then you dancing like, yeah. I mean, you should be happy, but at the same time, you know, just a little bit sad that you could have did life and stuff like that. He 83, but, you know, he lucky he could get, you know, more years in and be out and live his life.
Right. I gotta switch it up. So, what's your name and what's going on with this?
My name's Joseph Christoph Disberger. This is Enzo. Enzo the dog. Woof woof, bark bark. Helps to know a second language.
Okay, I thought I saw your mouth move on that. I'm not sure.
Here. Let's give you a treat.
Oh, we're doing a treat here.
Hi, I'm Enzo. Enzo the dog. Woof woof, bark bark. Ha ha.
So I got a question maybe for Enzo or for you.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby just got released the other day. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, gee, you know, as a kid, I grew up watching him, and it was real tough to see what happened and know the truth. But you know, life really brings.
Got serious there.
Yeah, life really does bring some serious things. I think he's learned his lesson.
Okay.
To some extent. I don't know if this is exactly appropriate, but I think Bill's learned his lesson. I look forward to seeing words mean one thing, actions tell a whole nother. So
Okay.
I'm interested to see what happens in the future.
Nice. I'm gonna switch it up.
Wendy Craig's, the best restaurant in LA. Gotta go to it. I'm actually late though. I gotta go. But I love you guys.
I gotta ask about Bill Cosby. What are your thoughts of getting it released the other day?
No comment.
Okay.
I think it's fucked up, obviously. But I mean, I don't know. You know, there's two sides to it. I don't know. I don't think it's okay. I don't know.
Amazing day. What are we doing today?
Oh my God, we are having my client, because he's having a fight on July 23rd. It's like the TikTokers are gonna fight. So he's actually here right now. Hannah's coming. Hannah has a show on the E network. So that's gonna be pretty exciting, you guys.
So I have to ask Bill Cosby. He just got released the other day. What are your thoughts of Bill Cosby being released from prison?
Oh my God. Well, you know, that's a tough one, honestly. That's pretty crazy. Hey, that's pretty crazy. So I'm just like, I'm gonna remain neutral, but I feel like that's a little bit unfair.
Okay.
I mean, Brittany's over there fighting a conservatorship, you know.
Right.
And
She lost from the judge.
she lost from the judge, and then here we have Bill, you know, walking around a free man. So I think our judicial system is unfair.
I want to switch up to some BB, looking amazing.
Thank you.
Hey, so Bill Cosby got released the other day. What are your thoughts of the whole situation?
I think it's horrible. I mean, it sends a really bad message out, and to, you know, it was a technical glitch is the reason that, you know, he was let out of prison. But and people are comparing him to OJ, saying, well, if OJ can do it, you know, Bill Cosby can bounce back. First of all, OJ only murdered one person and didn't get convicted for it. And second of all, there are so many icons that say that Bill Cosby raped them, that he gave them drugs, because you have like 30 women saying that they've been raped by Bill Cosby. And some of them, they had so much fame that they didn't have to come out, but they did. So we still know that he's a rapist, and, you know, they think he'll bounce back like OJ, but I mean, it's two totally different cases, because OJ was never convicted for murdering Nicole. And you know what? I'm afraid like all the blind prisoners are going to want to go to this prison, because it is a miracle from God. He got his sight back. I mean, it's so amazing. He could look up and wave at the helicopters up above. You know, if you're blind, which you've been claiming that you're blind this entire time, it was lies. It was where he would have somebody in prison to help protect him, to help wipe his ass, you know, where he would still get more benefits than what a regular person would. So he decided, and his camp decided, that he would fake that he would be blind. But guys, let me tell you, he didn't look like a blind man. The way he went into prison and the way he came out, I mean, going in, he was fumbling and almost falling and didn't know where he was going. Coming out, he's like skipping and waving. So, I mean, it is a disgrace. You know, he is still a rapist, and he has raped 30 to 40 women, if not more. I mean, some are probably dead by now because, you know, because of the age and everything. But, I mean, I really feel like it's a disgrace, and we see that he lied about being blind.
Juggling a lot of people are out of work, facing economic uncertainty, really struggling. So all of these stressors tend to exacerbate any cracks in the relationship or any struggles. So the first is to be aware of what your triggers are, when you're getting triggered. I like to think of, if you think about your anger and your frustration, let's go from 0 to 10. 10 being you're screaming at your partner and you're saying
10 usually. I'm usually at 10. Go on.
Yeah. Well, that's why we want to keep you out of a relationship for a while until you learn some skills. And 0 being like you're totally calm, cool, like hanging on the couch, feeling good. You want to look at what is that point of no return. Like as your anger mounts, as your frustration mounts, and we all have, you know, our frustrations on a day-to-day basis, you want to be taking your temperature. You want to go, okay, what is that point of no return? For a lot of people, maybe a 7 or an 8. Let's say yours is an 8. What you want to do is be taking your temperature and checking in and going, okay, where am I on this scale right now? Okay, you know what? When you get about 2 points lower than your breaking point, so if you're an 8, when you hit a 6, it's time to take a timeout. I really like timeouts for adults. I don't like them very much for kids, which is a whole other thing. But to be able to say to your partner, plan it in advance, hey, I heard this therapist talk with Ryan Fu, and she recommended couples take a timeout when things are getting too heated, because what happens is if you're too hot when you have the conversation, it's not going to be productive. It's a waste of your time. People just get their feelings hurt. People say terrible things to each other. Take a timeout. When you hit a 6, hey, I think I'm too worked up to have a productive conversation. Let's take a break. Let's meet back in the kitchen an hour, or let's sleep on this and talk about it in the morning. You're not abandoning your partner. You're not screaming and running out the door, but saying, hey, I'm too hot right now. Like, I can't talk about this right now, but I do want to work this out. Let's talk about this later.
So she's about to throw that beer bottle at me. I'm like, let's take a time out here.
2 points below the beer bottle throwing. That's when you want to take the time out.
Beautiful. Since the COVID lockdown,